Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news for the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, I wasn't going to even do this one. It's been a little bit of overkill with the number one pound for pound of late, but it's brought up again. Now, great boxer, champion, I don't know how many times champion, welterweight, junior welterweight, and a exciting fighter, epitome of exciting fighter, ESPN analyst right now, is Tim Bradley. Mr. Controversial, because Tim been starting some stuff lately, you know what I mean? So Timothy Bradley then came out, he just straight up said, listen, Terence Bud Crawford would be the prime Floyd Mayweather, and Manny Pacquiao prime now, yesterday, whenever, right? Basically. And so the first thing you think is, man, shoot, man, look, man, he's nuts again. But then you start to got to think. Now, he's been 100 rounds sparring with Terence Crawford, and he's been 36 rounds in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So if anybody could talk about stuff like that, it would be this man here, Timothy Bradley. And if you don't know Timothy Bradley, you only know him as an analyst, go back and watch some of his fights. Exciting dude, always came in top fit, and he gonna fight. Damn near killed himself messing around with Pavotnikov, after that. But then you'll make me start talking about why he would come fight Pavotnikov, and then we'll get into another type of video. Because he got some backlash, and he shouldn't even went in there like that. Don't even get me started with that. Bottom line is, though, listen, when you talked about, Mayweather, Pacquiao, and then can Crawford beat these guys? Well, when it comes to Pacquiao, listen, the world has known for about 7 years. The world, the media, everybody. Everyone says Manny Pacquiao could be GOAT if he beats this guy, if he beats Terence Crawford. Manny Pacquiao's close to the GOAT, which we've been talking in other videos. Manny Pacquiao's 8th division champion and all of those things. But we've known, and mainstream media has known for the longest, that he doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford. Why? His trainer said, Freddie Roach said, we ain't fighting Terence Crawford. That's a young Floyd Mayweather, and we don't want this guy. Right? His promoter, Bob Arum, has said, hey man, I don't want to put Pacquiao in with Terence Crawford. He can get hurt up in there. On several occasions in mainstream media. So you will have to ask yourself, what happened? Manny Pacquiao sitting right next to him, or heard about it. He's not outraged. Did Bob Arum ever come out and say Manny Pacquiao cussed me out? Freddie Roach, Manny Pacquiao was upset I said that, and now he told me to go get the fight with Terence Crawford, which normally would happen. Who? I'm supposed to be scared of him? Y'all scared of me fighting him? Wait, go get the fight with him. Did any of that occur? Because it's been about 7 years, and it still ain't occurring right now. You know what I mean? So everybody knows this about this guy, right? Everybody knows this about this guy, but act like it's not the truth. Manny Pacquiao is awesome, but he don't want none of this guy for a long period of time. A lot of people be talking about, yo, man, he gotta leave. Terence Crawford gotta leave Bob Arum and go over here to PBC and Al Heyman and them. What's gonna be the difference? He was trying to get Manny Pacquiao, the biggest one in sports still, and he wasn't gonna never fight him, right? By the way, Bob Arum, the one who made him a millionaire. Right? Bob Arum said, I can't sell Terence Crawford. Yeah, he can't sell him. If he can't get Manny Pacquiao, he can't get Manny Pacquiao in the fight. And if you think about it this way, turn it around, as a promoter, what else is Bob Arum supposed to do? Think about it. You told another one of your fighters, man, I don't want you to get in here. You can just try to use reverse psychology on him. You can't beat no Terence Crawford. We ain't going to even try to make that fight. Manny Pacquiao heard that. Manny Pacquiao was supposed to react like, man, if you don't make that fight yesterday, something wrong with you. You ain't going to be my promoter no more. None of that happened. I think Bob Arum's hands was tied. I don't think Al Heyman and anybody else is going to be able to untie the hands. Manny Pacquiao ain't fighting him, no matter where the promoter and whoever, wherever. Right? And this always the PBC stuff ain't right neither. Because, he fought Felix Diaz, which is also a big win, by the way. Felix Diaz is all that. So I'm just saying, People saying stuff this outlandish, those are outlandish statements when you're saying Pacquiao won't fight you, right? Right? And then Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao, right? Jeff Horn, that's the Jeff Horn that beat Pacquiao, started calling out Errol Spence when it wasn't fashionable to do so. Remember that? After he beat Pacquiao, he was, thought he was all of that. But that's when Terence Crawford moved up in weight, beat him right after he beat Pacquiao, beat the brakes off of him, right? So the article's up there talking about, this is stunning. This is stunning for him to say this. It's not stunning to me that he said he beat Mayweather too. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather's all that, but he's, think he beat Mayweather too? I don't think so. I think, when I'm looking at Mayweather, I look at Mayweather like this, ain't nobody beating that boy. You're going to have to go back, to find some people. You got to go back to Sugar Ray Leonard's, who you talk about. I was even thought about the Duran fight, because Duran, when Sugar Ray Leonard stood in front of Duran in the first fight, Duran was with him. And people act like Sugar Ray lost by a landslide in that fight too, right? No, if you lived it, no, he didn't lose by it. He was just getting hit more than, he shouldn't have been in there, in the pocket with Duran the whole fight. But he was holding his own that way too. That's another myth. We just, oh man, just because he got hit a couple of times. He should have got outboxed him, but he was like, Duran made him do something he didn't want to do by talking smack before the fight, which is part of the fight. If you want to know about that, ask Tyson Fury against Klitschko. That's exactly what Tyson Fury did against Klitschko. Got under the skin, made Klitschko think a feint meant something. So, it's that banter before the fight. It does something. But that, Duran, if Floyd would stay next to him, right? But Floyd's IQ was too high to do that, so he would have outboxed him like Sugar Ray did the second fight. So I think Floyd gets Duran. Duran is close, though. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard, that's a good fight, period. Because I would say, even Floyd there. But Sugar Ray was the first one to figure out how to beat Thomas Hearns. And as a matter of fact, Thomas Hearns is the one that I would be the most fearful of with Floyd Mayweather, right, at 147. Because Thomas Hearns, you can mess around and get a Pino Cuevas thing done to you, where it's that one punch stuff with Thomas Hearns, and the punches are coming fast. If you don't think they were coming fast, wasn't Sugar Ray trying to outbox at the beginning of that fight with Thomas Hearns, the first one outbox, and Thomas Hearns was fast enough to swell up Sugar Ray's eye, right? That's how fast he was. So Sugar Ray had to start putting them hands up and walk him down, and I think that would be the only way for Floyd Mayweather to beat the Thomas Hearns. That's a good fight right there, because that Deontay Wilder type of, you can just wake up and, damn, I lost that. That's what could happen there. But I still say, it's hard to say anybody beats a Floyd Mayweather. Really, it really is. And if you're young, you're not gonna think so anyway. But even going back, there's some bad boys. Them boys I just mentioned are bad. I ain't gonna even mention Marvin Hagler because he's at 160. I'm talking still 147, right? These some serious stuff. But Terence Crawford, he gets a bad rap because just like Floyd Mayweather, that people say stuff before the fight and then after the fight, the dude ain't nothing. Like everybody had a Victor Postal, right? Like everybody. Victor Postal was undefeated. Undefeated, was supposed to beat Terence Crawford, and he just got beat so easily that they said something. I don't know if Spence got a Victor Postal, Ndungo. For undisputed at 140. I would try to do, oh man, Ndungo wasn't nothing, man, Ndungo ain't how? How was Ndungo nothing? You don't go to Russia and beat Troy Anowski, who was undefeated, who they were going to start saying Terence Crawford wasn't going to fight. Right? If undefeated Russians are all that. Tell the truth. Right? Tell the truth. If Troy Anowski would have beat Ndungo, he was about to be the one they was going to start talking about. Trust me. And Ndungo went over there to Russia and beat him in 1 or 2 rounds with a straight left hand. Bam! Okay? Now, he didn't rest on his laurels. He went and got the other title from Ricky Burns over there in Scotland. Bam! Right? So, what 2 belt champions are nothing? Why is Ndungo nothing? Ricky Burns ain't nothing? Troy Nowski ain't nothing? In their home backyards? That's nothing? See, would you call him nothing after that just because he got beat by a body blow against Terence Crawford? That's still something. You know what I'm saying? Felix Diaz too. And all those undefeated welterweights in his 3rd weight division that are undefeated, he's knocking them out now. Not outboxing the bigger fighters. He's going up and all of a sudden knocking people out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why we be talking about Terence Crawford like it ain't all that. We talk about him and Spence, which I think brothers shouldn't even do right now. When it comes to him and Spence, whatever happens, happens. That fight should happen. But Terence Crawford is something special. This is not something crazy that he's saying that he could be the prime Mayweather and the prime Pacquiao. I'm pretty sure he knows he can be Pacquiao, but he's probably saying Mayweather too. Because Terence Crawford is that special. Terence Crawford, what he's done already is that special. That's why I keep trying to tell people, all those things, didn't go from the beginning of the fight and watch the lead up from his last like 20 fights or something to see what was going on at 135 pounds with Gamboa and then going up higher and becoming undisputed and the people he were fighting. Because after he beats them and there's a lot of separation there, it is easy to say they're nothing. And then somebody else is in one division, ain't moved up, in one division got two belts, and he's supposed to be even ranked higher than this guy sometimes. And definitely supposed to make more money. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Timothy Bradley is not out there on this one. I think he can believe that. You can definitely say that because outlandish things have been said. I've just told you some of the outlandish things. Manny Pacquiao shouldn't fight him. That's pretty outlandish to hear over years. Matter of fact, Stephen A. Smith talking right now, he think Manny Pacquiao can get knocked out from this guy, so he's fearful, right? They don't say that about everybody when it comes to this guy, and they've been saying that for a long time. So yeah, beware of Terence Crawford. And matter of fact, he's supposed to be, we just talked about it, he's on my number one pound for pound, he should be on yours too, which is also another feather in his cap. Done with Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.